Today we're going to be talking about your pelvic floor and why it's so important to talk about. Well, your pelvic floor is what keeps your uterus, your bowels, your bladder all in place, right? And so as women, we bear children and we're also aging. And so when we're having babies, all these muscles are being stretched, and then our vaginal muscles are also being stretched. So if we don't tighten them and strengthen them, what can happen? Well, we can leak urine, organs can start to come out. It's just not pretty, right? So we need to make sure we are strengthening these muscles. Also, as we age, everything is going south, right? Gravity just takes over. And so we really need to strengthen our pelvic floor and our abdominal muscles, right? So the transverse abdominis is super important as well. And that is the muscles that go around your abdomen all the way to your back. Okay? Think of it like a corset, right? You're pulling that corset. So with strengthening your pelvic floor, we're going to talk about breath work, okay, and how to breathe properly to strengthen that pelvic floor. A lot of times doctors will tell you just do Kegels, just do Kegels, stop your urine, and that's enough. When really it's more than that. You really need to engage your transverse abdominis and your pelvic floor. So I'm going to demonstrate how to do that, and you can do it as well. Okay, so you're going to breathe in, breathe out, and as you're breathing out, think you're pushing all that air out. Think you're pulling a corset in, and then you're pulling all these muscles up nice and tight. Okay, and you're going to hold it for like 5 seconds. Okay, and then let it go. I want you to do that like a good 5 times standing. And then I want you to do it lying down and sitting. So total of 15 times in a day. Okay, so let's do that again. You're gonna breathe in, breathe out, tighten that corset, bring up all those muscles, the vaginal muscles, the anal muscles, bring it all nice and tight and hold. And now let it go. Okay. There are some movements that will help with strengthening your pelvic floor. For example, a squat and a deadlift. So I'm going to demonstrate how to do a squat. And while you're doing that, I want you to engage your core. Okay. So your legs are going to be hip distance apart. Toes are pointing out. You're breathing in and out, engaging that core, and then go down as far as you can, keeping that posture up, and then come up. So just a side view. Okay, toes are out. Breathe in, breathe out. Tighten that core, bring all those muscles up, and go down. And come up. So do that a few times. If that is easy, you can pause at the bottom for a few seconds to make it more challenging, right? Because time under tension is what builds muscle, okay? So we're going to demonstrate how to do that. Ready? And breathe in. Tighten that core, bring up those muscles. Go down and stay down here as long as you can. 1, 2, 4, 5, and come back up. Okay, so that is a squat. Deadlift, you can do with a barbell, you can do with dumbbells, a kettlebell, you can even do it with a band. So I will show you how to do a deadlift with a band. So you're going to take your band, you're going to put it under both feet. So when you're doing a deadlift, what you want to do is you want to have your feet hip distance apart, but you want them pointing forward. So this is different than a squat. A squat, our feet are pointing outwards. A deadlift, our feet are pointing forward. Think about keeping your hands and the band as close to your shins as possible. You're going to be bending at the waist, pushing your butt out. Imagine you're closing a door. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, so remember, we're going to engage our core. So breathe in, tighten all those muscles, and we go down until you feel a resistance in your hamstrings. And then you come back up slowly. Okay, let me demonstrate from the side. Okay. Deep breath in. Out, engaging that core. And we go down. Go down until you feel that resistance in the hamstrings and come back up. Okay? If you want it to be a little more challenging, you can do one leg at a time. I'll demonstrate. Okay, so we're here. Hip distance apart. You're going to breathe in. Breathe out. Engage that core. Nice tall back. And go down. So you feel that resistance and then come back up.